This morning, Ben Cherington, who really does not deserve to keep his job as the Pirates general manager, and I don't even know if I'm expressing an opinion when I say that, just look at his record, said, and I quote directly here, "I fully expect," end quote, that Derek Shelton will be back as manager in 2025. He goes on to say how hard Shelty works and all this other stuff, right? As if trying hard matters in professional sports. And my first thought was, hang on a second. You're the GM. If you are really in charge of baseball operations and you felt really, really good about your ability to declare such things, why would you say "I fully expect" as opposed to "he will be"? You see what I'm saying here? I have been insisting for months now that there is no such thing as separating Cherington from Shelton. And I've bit back at people when they say something like, well, just get rid of the manager. It'll be a start. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. I told everyone in advance that what Cherington was going to do here was plot every possible course to preserve his job and to preserve that of Shelton. They're tighter than you think. And what's he done so far? Well, he fired the Latin American scouting director, who probably should have been fired a long time ago, given that we haven't seen any internal Latin American talent arrive here in a long time. He fired, at least he made it be known today, his director of pro scouting, and he fired his lead analytics guy. So what's he doing here? He's blaming, in essence, the people who recommended certain trades and certain acquisitions, because almost all of them have flopped, and he's finding a way to save himself and to save the manager. That's all that happened today. Until Bob Nutting, the richly popular owner of your Pittsburgh baseball club, steps in and says one of two things. One, all of you, out. Get out. 5 years. Worst winning percentage anybody's seen in a 5-year span for GM/manager in 60 years in baseball. You're all gone. I got to start over. Thanks for the effort, but you're out. Or he says, hey, guess what? Everybody's back. I feel like we've really addressed some organizational shortcomings, and we're really going to be that much stronger for it next year. We're not changing a thing, mind you, but we have thrown 3 people under the bus, and now we're going to be okay. Until one of those two things happens, and you can tell which one I think would be better, nothing matters. Nothing matters. This team grossly underperformed where it should have been with its existing talent, which wasn't much. And this team immensely, sickeningly, stomach-turningly, which isn't even an adverb, underperformed where it should have been as an organization in year 5, based on the massive amount of investments that went into these acquisitions, most of them via trade. You know who's responsible for making trades? You know who's accountable, or should be, for making trades? Hint, it's not the field manager. Hint, it's not the Latin American scouting director. And it's not the other 2 guys that Cherington rolled under the bus today. It's him. It's him. But the reason there's no accountability, and the reason this frustrates people when they watch the Pirates play, why isn't so-and-so benched? Why isn't this guy? It's because it starts at the top. If there's no accountability at the top, then why should there be any being distributed throughout the system? And you know what? I really wish I was just talking about Cherington when I said at the top, but I'm not, because there are 2 people, not 1, 2 over his head. One is Travis Williams, who has authority over Cherington, doesn't act on it. And the other one is Nutting. There is a commonality to all of this. There's a commonality that goes back to 2007, and that's when Nutting became controlling owner. He's not very good at firing. Let me restate that. He's not good at hiring, and he's really not good at firing. He makes bad hires, and then he takes way too long to get rid of them. 5 years of absolute, all-out, no exceptions, across the board, top to bottom failure. And it's not enough. Not yet, anyway.